If you collect feedback from customers in Airtable on projects that you've done for them, and you need an easier way to consolidate that information into a nice dashboard to look at how certain crew leaders or employees in your company are performing, that's what we're going to be covering in this video, is making an interface inside of Airtable to consolidate and report on NPS surveys. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Chris. I am the owner of Boolean Automation, where we help free you up to do what you love. We work specifically with painting contractors. So if you're a painting contractor, we can help eliminate 80% of the data entry in your business while increasing reporting. And we can also do really cool things like this in this video. A customer asked us to create an NPS survey to send out to their clients after they finish projects. And we've actually built all this out inside of Airtable. It's fully automated. This video is going to be focused on building the interface that is a dashboard to look at how the results are showing for your given employees. So if you're a painter, please like this video, subscribe, share it in your painting Facebook groups and other masterminds. We exist to free you up from the mind-numbing, boring data entry tasks that nobody likes, so that you and your employees can do what you love, which is either solving more interesting problems or spending time with your family. Now let's get into this video. So here is the map that we had made. So we are now on video 6, which is making an interface to analyze feedback. So I'm going to jump right into this, and we have all of the projects that we had listed here, and each one of those surveys is linked directly to a project. So we have all of our projects here, and then the results from the surveys so far have been listed here. And now what we want to do is use this interface tool, and I'm going to use the dashboard to show. We're going to link this to projects, click next again, and we're going to call this NPS survey results, and we'll click finish. So now we have a dashboard here, and we're going to modify this a couple different ways. So first, the count here, we want to have it come from the projects table, and we need to show specific records, and we only want to show records where the condition, because right now this is going to show all the projects in our database, and we only want to show the ones that have, if we go back and look, actually, I'll show you what I mean. We have, in this case, we've got 9 projects in here, and it just so turns out that I did submit feedback for all of them. But if I duplicate a couple of these, or let's say I take this one, copy, and we're going to paste in the new one there. Let's do a couple more of these. Let's say that these other ones have not been, or reviews have not come in for these last ones. So we're going to highlight all this and delete that information. So in this case, what I just did was, we've got a number of different projects, but we did not get surveys back from these 2. So the total count should be 9. But if we go look at the interface right now, it's going to be telling us that we've got 11 surveys in. So what we're going to do here is say, only show me specific records that meet the conditions. And that is where, how did you like working is not empty. So now it's saying that our count here is 9. So what we could also do is rename this and say, we want this to say NPS, or let's say surveys completed. And this one could be total projects. And then this one we could say is, let's say number of 5 stars, for example. So we could do specific records. And this would be, we want to make sure that the NPS score number is, we'll say, greater than an 8. And the next one here, how'd you like working, is greater than, oops, that's less than, greater than 4 stars. So we're going to say positive reviews. We want to make sure that the result is the NPS score is greater than an 8, and the other star rating is greater than a 4. Or let's do greater than or equal to. Greater than or equal to, and this should be greater than or equal to. So if it's an 8 or higher, or 4-star or higher, we want to show it in that number here, and that's 5. So we can name this one. This will be positive feedback. So now we've got our total surveys completed, the total projects that we did. So we're missing 2 surveys in here and then positive feedback. And then we can also do things like this. We could have a filter in here that is going to say, let's add a filter that is the crew leader, for example. So let's do the crew leader has any of, and then we'll leave that as an option for them to select. So now what this does is if I were to come in here, I'm going to click publish. I always like publishing while I'm working on this. If I choose a crew leader and say Sarah, now that's going to show me, and this is going to dynamically change and say, Sarah has gotten 4 surveys on 6 projects and 1 positive feedback. If I click the Darth Vader, he's gotten 4 positive feedbacks and 5 surveys completed. And he's also done 5 projects. So that's how that filter works. You can go back and keep editing this. The thing again that I want to highlight here, though, is that just want to interrupt you really quick to say, as you're building along and following along in this video, if you're interested in getting the complete, fully built template for this NPS survey running in Airtable, you can see here is the completed one. We've got the work complete boxes that I can check here. That's going to fire off the email sequence. I also have built out the interfaces here. So the interface, the nice little starting place for you. You can modify this as you see fit. If you want the completed version emailed to you that you can copy and paste and start from there, grab it down below. You can claim that in the description. And if you want to keep building on your own, then keep following along. We've got this series of videos that show you exactly how to get to the end state that I am happy to email to you if you want to claim that down below. Thanks so much for watching. You can literally, the thing that's so powerful about Airtable is that if you have a really unique use case or you want to look at certain data in a particular way, you can use this dashboard to present the information in a much more easy to read and easy to see format. So for example, here, let's say instead of looking at it by project type, I want to do, well, let's say we do want to do project type, but we want to only see specific records where the, let's say, rating is working with less than or equal to a 3. So this is now, it's going to show me the, because we're looking at Darth Vader. So it shows that we have one record where the feedback was negative with this filter. If I take this off, now it's showing that we had 2 negative feedback on interior and exterior. So you could start to see, in fact, I'm going to add in another element here of just a title. So we're going to add text, and we'll add this above this right here. And this is going to be negative feedback by project type. But you get the idea here that now we could see, oh, okay, if we do a lot of these, we could see, man, we're getting a lot of negative feedback on our exteriors. Or if you didn't want to see by project type, we could also switch it to show by crew leader or by customer or whatever. So this one here, we could customize. This is what percentage of our projects was interior or exterior. We could change this to only show me the, actually, I'm just going to delete this one and do a totally different element here just to show you what's possible. But if we did a grid, for example, I could put a grid in here, and now I'm showing the projects that came back recently. But I could go in here and say, I'm not going to make this editable because I don't want the data to be able to be changed. But what I do want to change is the appearance. So have the data that's being showed here. Here we go. So we're going to hide some of this stuff. So we don't need the job number in this case, I don't think. So I'm going to take away the job number. We can keep the project type, shrink that over. The start date, I don't think is relevant for this. Complete date, work complete. And then the one date we can get rid of, the crew leader. And let's also bring in the stars. So if we look at it like this, we could put the crew leader there, hide the project type because we have the project in there. And now you could also see, just by rearranging this, maybe I want to see specifically what was the feedback that they got. And I could also bring in the NPS score as well. So here's like a, let's actually drag this down or move this over. So I consolidate that way, stretch this out a little bit. And now I can see that the crew leader, every project that the crew leader has done and their scores that they've gotten. I also made this so it's not editable. And then you could have this dashboard if I publish this. Now I've got a dashboard of all of our feedback. And again, I'm just trying to show what's possible. You literally, any type of report that you want to see, you could build that in here and see that I've got all of Darth Vader and just quickly be like, oh yeah, on that Chris Kiefer project, he got a 1 star, you know? So that is how you build out a interface for this NPS survey. I hope that was valuable. This is the last video of this 6-part series that I did on the NPS survey functionality. But what I want to emphasize that if you're kind of confused, like, oh, well, why would I do the NPS survey in here? Airtable is the all-in-one tool that's going to do everything for project management and NPS surveys. You can tack on these additional things that you want inside of Airtable. So it's literally just like, oh, you want to do NPS surveys, you want to do payables to subcontractors, all that stuff can happen. So hope this was valuable. Please like the video if there was value here and subscribe to the channel if you're a painter. We'll see you in the next video.